Breast Free. A Percabeth Club Swim Alternate Universe Fanfiction Part 3. Well, I never thought I'd see the day where Annabeth Chase is nervous because of a boy, but here we are, Piper said teasingly when she showed up to Annabeth's house. It was the day of Percy and her first real date. It was safe to say that she was panicking. For the record, she never went on dates. Sure, Annabeth helped Piper or other friends get ready for them, but she had never gone on one herself. Now she understood the pre-date nerves everyone else got. I feel like a prissy girl, she said, darting her eyes around the closet. Percy and her were going on a picnic, and Annabeth had no idea what to wear. Okay, that was a sentence she never thought she'd say. Piper laughed like a true friend, and she walked over and placed her hand on Annabeth's shoulder. Her panic slowed down as her friend helped her breathe. Welcome to my world. But seriously, there's no need to worry. I'm here to help you find a rocking outfit, and you're gonna look so hot, he's gonna faint, Piper promised her. Still, Annabeth bit her lip nervously. I really want him to like me. I've never felt this way before, and I kind of hate it, Annabeth admitted. Piper snorted and threw open her closet door. The brunette girl inspected the clothing and reached in, and began to aggressively throw clothes behind her. Annabeth nearly took a hit in the face by a hanger. I can't go if I'm dead, the blonde cried out. Piper ignored her. This. Try this, she said, plopping herself down on the office chair. Annabeth sent her a fierce glare, but she was used to it, so thus it had no effect. Annabeth shrugged on the top and squeezed into the bottoms. She was a swimmer, after all. It had all but ruined her sense of modesty or shame. Not bad, but we're gonna be mostly outside, and my legs are gonna get sweaty in these jeans, Annabeth commented. It was one of her few pairs of mom jeans that weren't ripped. Piper hummed. Right. Piper muttered and began to search again. Your legs get guys. Thanks for the reminder. Annabeth screeched at her for saying that. Here. Piper tossed her a wrap top and jean shorts. In complete honesty, Annabeth had no idea that she even owned this shirt, but she was grateful that she did because she actually looks kind of good in it. I like it, she said, spinning in the mirror, feeling rather pretty. Piper smiled and came up behind her shoulder. You look like a goddess. Rushed into her head. And it all added up to pure panic. Here she was, on a date. A date! With this sweetheart of a boy. He was so caring and so sweet, and despite what he was saying before, definitely out of her league. She had never been on a date before. She had no idea what to do. And here he was, Percy Jackson in all his glory, making her perfected and finicky sandwich preference. God, how did she get here? Not that she was complaining, but more so, oh my God, what kind of God blessed me? So, we go to the same school, Percy started. Annabeth awkwardly nodded. Yeah, most of the time at least. But if I have a study hall with a friend, we like to go down to Mr. Paulo's music wing, and I do class in his practice room, she explained. Really? Yeah. I'm glad he's such an easygoing teacher. Music teachers are always the nice one. And it helps that Piper is one of his best choir students. And you're not one either? You seem like one, Percy joked. Annabeth rolled her eyes. She was perhaps the furthest thing from a delicate singer. And on that note, how Piper managed choir, club swim, and boys was a miracle to her. Though that girl had barely any time management skills. She did a lot and did it well. Do you ever hear the blaring sounds of reed pipes during like 5th or 7th hour? Percy asked her. Annabeth bit her lip and tried to think back. Actually, yeah, she said, remembering how odd it was to listen while her friends ranted and she was solving calculus problems displayed to her on the computer. Percy smiled shyly at her. That's Grover. I hate his reed pipes, but honestly he loves them to death and will play it any time he can. Paolo's the only one that lets him play, and it's solely because the room is mostly soundproof. Percy explained. Annabeth laughed hard. Seriously? I hate that so much. Percy nodded in confirmation. Wow. Now I can burst in and tell him to stop. Percy looked at her with a stone face. Please do, he said dryly. Despite her nerves and panic, it was a nice date. Percy was a wonderful person, funny as ever and more sarcastic than she had thought before. I am going to punch you, Annabeth cried in between her tears of laughter. Percy stuck out his tongue at her. Oh, I'd like to see you try, he threw at her. She tossed a handful of ripped grass at him. Ah! He shouted like a child. Annabeth choked. How he managed to get rid of her awkwardness and worries so easily, she had no idea. He had caught on so quickly and made her feel comfortable. Percy didn't even find it weird that this was her first ever date. You so underestimate me, Annabeth said, lunging at him. Percy shouted and jumped up, sprinting away. Dang, that boy was fast on land too. This is so not fair, Annabeth cried, running after him. Of course, she was still able to keep up with him, but her point still stood. Catch me if you can't, whoops! The famous Percy Jackson, star swimmer and future Olympian, promptly tripped over his own shoelaces. And just so happened that Annabeth's running stops weren't good because she hit Percy's outstretched foot and tripped right on top of him. Oof! She landed right onto his broad chest. Heat blossomed over Annabeth's face. This was not the plan. Sorry. I'm clumsy. Sorry, Percy stuttered. Annabeth lifted her head and noted that for the first time, she noted for the first time just how panicked Percy was. Had he been nervous as she was the entire time? Annabeth scrambled off him but stayed seated on the ground, blushing very hard. It's okay, she said, biting her lip as a habit. Percy sighed and looked away from her. Oh wow, he was nervous. Really nervous. Would this make you say no to a second date? He looked so crushed, like he thought that this would actually make her say no. Annabeth gaped at him. Did he really think that she wasn't interested? Annabeth gathered all of her nerves. She was going to do something that was a bit dumb, and needed to be prepared for. Or am I pushing it? I guess this one isn't over. Yeah, I'm pushing it. I'm sorry. You know what? Forget what I'm saying. It's all nonsense. She shut him up with a kiss, cradling his face in a light grip, and not too much force. It lasted maybe 3 seconds, and Annabeth pulled away. That was her first kiss, and it was to shut someone up. Huh. How fitting. I wouldn't have said yes to the first date if I didn't want to go on a second. Or more, she admitted to him with pink cheeks. His face broke out into a huge and goofy grin. Can I kiss you? He said excitedly. Annabeth rolled her eyes. I mean, I didn't ask you if I could. In short, he kissed her to shut her up.